Hi everybody. Have you ever wondered what is the journey of a life coach? What has driven a life coach to become a life coach? Today, I have the pleasure to receive Lily and she will discover a journey to become a life coach. I'm Sam, your host, and I'm the founder of At Your Best. At Your Best is a platform that provides life coaching, live meditation, live yoga, and also soon, actually tomorrow, live nutrition discussion in order to help you to build a strong mind in a strong body. Today, I have the pleasure to receive Lily. Lily will explain you a journey to become a life coach, and she will give you more detail on what is coaching and how does it work. But without further ado, let's welcome Lily. Hi Lily.
Hi, Sam.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. And thank you for inviting me to this lovely studio.
It's a pleasure. So can you tell us a bit more about you?
Yeah, my pleasure. Super excited to be here. And as you know, I'm coming from China. I grew up in a very small town. I made all the way, from Shanghai to Hong Kong. I came to Hong Kong actually 10 years ago to pursue my MBA. And in the past 10 years, I've traveled to over 20 countries. I lived in 5 countries. But in the end, I always come back to Hong Kong because I consider this is my home. I, created my career path here. Now I have launched another journey as a coach. So I'm super excited. And unlike other coaches with, human resource background, I'm coming from a business background. But I think, my business background actually can add value to my clients.
Mm-hmm. So first I'm curious because you say you come from a small town in China.
Yeah.
Are there some small town in China?
That's a very good question. Yeah. We always say small town, but even in my small town, there are millions of people.
Okay.
So it's not actually a small town.
Okay. So very good. And you said so you had an MBA and you started to work and you decided to switch to become a coach. So can you tell us a bit more about how did you learn coaching?
Okay. So actually, my coaching journey, of course, started from a coaching institute called Transcend. So I went there to do the studies, and then I practiced a lot to become a coach. Because if you want to be a certified coach, you have to fulfill a certain number of hours. So that is the textbook version. My own personal story is that I actually was being coached before. So during my last job, once I was stuck in my job, I was very negative. I was not really motivated. So I actually went to a coach for help.
Mm-hmm.
And this coach really helped me by, changing the way of thinking, looking at things from different perspectives. The impact was really, really, amazing and transformative. So at that time, I started thinking, why don't I learn these skills to help other people? Because, in my nature, I like to help people. And also, I always enjoy, thought-provoking conversations. I think that's the way how I connect with people and help them at the same time. So that's my story.
So I'm curious when you approach this coach, did you approach him or her directly? Was it someone introduced to you by someone else? What is the story? So how did it work?
This coach, yes, he's actually our internal coach within the company.
Okay.
So company provided this coaching program, and at that time I really didn't know. I didn't have any idea what coach is. So I was like, looks interesting. Let me try. And in my nature, I'm a very curious person. I like to try new things, experiment new things. So I think that's a good idea. And I really didn't regret this decision.
Interesting. So you didn't have to pay for it because it was directly for the company.
Right.
And do you remember if it was an easy decision for you to engage this coach and to move forward?
Mm-hmm.
Was it natural or did something trigger the fact that you did that? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember at that time I was always traveling, and it started to get too much. I just felt very, exhausted, and I didn't know where my future is. So at that time, I was thinking, I need someone to maybe even tell me how I can, continue my career. So I saw this program, and then I signed up. We had a chemistry call. So he told me what the coaching is, what the coach will do, um, how this program will look like, and how are we going to progress. So I think this looks quite structured, and I believe this will actually make an impact or make a difference to me. So I agreed, and we started the coaching relationship. It actually lasts for like 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
Hmm.
And do you remember how frequent were your catch up?
Yeah, we catch up like every week.
Mhm.
And actually, he has some assignments for me every time. So every time you have to do some homework after the session, either you do some research on some topics, or you think about, or you reflect on your past week. So you always have something to do on your own.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So this is what actually uh, drive you to what happened after to start it, your own coaching journey
Yeah.
to become a coach.
Yeah, because I was very inspired. I was like, wow, this is really amazing because there are so many blind spots in my thinking, and I didn't know that. So this coach provided a different set of eyes to help me see things differently. And I realized, for example, if I was very negative about something, there's always another side of everything. So I try to think things differently, try to find the positive things of everything, positive side of everything. So I thought it was really transformative. So I wanted to learn the skills and help other people.
And was it in Mandarin, or what language did you use for your coaching?
It was in English.
In English.
Yeah, he's an American coach.
Okay. And what do you think about the language when you coach? Actually, now you coach.
Yeah.
Is it what is your view on the language you use?
Although I want to think that my English is quite fluent, I think in my coaching, I still prefer to use my mother language, which is Mandarin, because I feel a lot of ideas, if you express in your mother language, it will be more natural and more accurate. I have some occasions where when I wanted to ask some questions, but then the client misunderstood. So I think, of course, I also need to learn how to communicate better, how to use different words, how to modify my tone. So I think at this stage, I would prefer to use my mother language, but I don't mind speaking English.
Yeah, actually, I've been introduced to you by my wife, who you coach, and it was in English, and she was very happy of your English coaching. But,
Yeah.
So can you tell us more about okay, how does it work when you want to become a coach? What do you have to do?
So you mean during the learning process?
Yes.
Or? Yeah, so as coaching students, we have to go to classes. We have to fulfill certain number of hours as required by International Coach Federation. And then we attend the class. We do workshops, actually. We also do peer coaching on the spot, and there will be someone observing and providing feedback. So everybody take turns. For example, we have 3 people in a group, and one time you are the coach, one time you will be the client, and one time you will be the observer. So this is quite interesting. The class, we do workshops, actually.
I'm sorry for that. Okay, and so how many days of coaching training do you have to take to become a coach?
Okay, so I have taken module 1 and 2. I think which in total is 6 working days. But there are also module 3 and module 4 to complete your entire journey, which is I think in total will be another 6 hours. And then you can actually learn something different in module 3 and module 4. I think it's also necessary.
Okay. you have this learning journey where you need to attend some class to learn the process.
Yes.
And then you have the practice, right?
Yeah, practice actually takes more time because if you want to be certified by International Coach Federation, you need to have at least 100 coaching hours. So we have to do a lot of practice. We practice with real clients. We practice with peer coaches. So I think actually I learn more during the practice period.
Okay. And where are you with this process? So I think you finish, right?
I almost finished, so I'm at like 92 hours now. So 8 more hours, I'll be able to apply to ICF credential.
Okay, and after that, you have also some credential to complete with the school, the coaching school, and that you complete already, right?
Yeah, I completed all the homework and assignment. They actually ask you to write, for example, a coach development plan. So what is your plan for yourself as a coach? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Things like that. How do you want to develop yourself? What's your area of improvement? And also there's another interesting assignment, which is video recording. So I do a coaching with a client and you have to make a recording of the coaching, and then the mentor will watch the video and tell you some feedback. So I think that's very interesting because when I look at the video myself and I was like, okay, I didn't know that I roll my eyes so much. So that's very interesting.
Okay, very interesting. So I think you finish it, and I don't drink alcohol, but I wanted to celebrate with bubble.
Oh, thank you.
So, it's just water, but congratulations.
Thank you.
So I think it's yes. So just let's celebrate. So bravo. I think it's a very very good achievement. So congratulations. Talking about your now, so you are a coach. So how does it work when people want to be coached by you? So can you let us know a bit more detail about that? How they work? So if I repeat, can you let us know more about when people want to be coached by you? How does it work?
Okay, so I think the first thing we do is we have also a chemistry call. I want to understand like roughly what kind of topics they want to talk about, discuss, what kind of area they want to improve. And I tell them what is the coach, what is a coach about, what do coaches do, what is it like to be coached. So
like the confidentiality stuff.
Yeah. ICF terms. And I actually wanted to see some commitment in my clients because as you know, coaching process is where the clients take ownership. I'm not gonna do any homework for them. They have to do the homework themselves, like I did before.
Yeah.
So I think a little bit of at least commitment is quite important. And then after the chemistry session, if we agree, then we will proceed to our real sessions. And then in each session, we will have a defined goal. It's called a well-formed goal. So the client has a clear view of what they want to achieve at the end of the session. And then, for example, if we agree on a package of 10 sessions or 8 sessions, we also need to have a greater goal for all the sessions. For example, you can say, I want to improve my leadership after the 10 sessions. This is my greater goal. But then for each session, I might say, today I want to talk about communication skills. How do I convince people that I have leadership? How do I convince people that I'm accountable? So these kind of small goals, set goals, and then each session will actually serve to the greater goal. So this is how it works. And usually we have a one-on-one conversation. Also recently, team coaching is becoming very popular. So I think team coaching can be also very interesting for companies. But currently, most of my clients are doing one-on-one, coaching.
So I'm curious about an aspect of coaching because I'm also a coach and I've been coaching a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I feel that for some of them, when they are at the border between uh, ready to be coached or not ready to be coached. And it's what you say before when you say they need to take ownership, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes they are not clear in their mind about the fact that they are ready to take the ownership. They think about it, but when they really start to face the thing, they have it's difficult, right?
Yeah.
Because they may not be really ready. And in my experience, in some of my coaching, when they are not really ready, it's very hard to define a session goal, a well-formed goal,
true.
and it's like a bit more like going really little step by very little step first for them to see where they are,
Yeah.
what is going on.
Yeah.
Do you have also this feeling or?
Yeah, I have a very good example about this actually. I had a client, we had a chemistry call already, and he said, "Oh, it's okay, now I understand, so let's start." And then actually, in our real first session, he was asking the same question. And when I asked him questions, he usually answered, I don't know, maybe I don't know. So things like that. I just felt he was maybe not ready. So at that session, I spent more time explaining what coaching is and what is the goal and why do you need a goal? Why is goal important for coaching sessions? And then I said, what about this? I give you some time. I'll send you some, content to read about coaching. So I also gave him a few questions to think about. For example, what is important for you in life, what do you want to be in 5 years, things like that. What are your priorities? So I said, I'll give you some time. Let's not set a deadline. You just contact me whenever you're ready. So at that time, I was thinking maybe he's gone. He will never come back. But actually, after 2 weeks, he came back, and he had actually a better, mindset. He had a clear view of what he wants to talk about, and we had a very successful, again, first session. So he wanted to talk about how to react when people give criticism. So we talked about that, and he was very happy with the results. And again, I checked with him. I said, "Is this what you expect? Do you need me to explain what coach is?" So he was very happy.
So, and did he read everything you gave him?
I think so.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2 weeks time, he actually adjusted and came back.
Okay. And it's interesting because I sometimes struggle when they are not ready, and I hesitate between should I continue or should I recommend them to come back when they will be more ready, but it means they may not know what means being ready, so that's a difficulty. But
I think it's important to be patient as coaches. We need to be patient and we need to give them space so they can think about it. They can read on what is coaching, what do they really want. Do they want a consultant? Do they want a counselor? Or do they want a mentor? Or do they want a coach? We are all different. So it's important to first let them understand what we do and then give them space to think about it.
Very, very interesting. Give them space. And do you use any specific tool in your coaching?
I actually have designed 2 bilingual questionnaires. So one is for them to fill out every session. Before the session, they have to fill out the questionnaire to tell me what they did in the last week.
Wow.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about this week? And then what makes you happy? Like what happened in the past week that makes you happy? Things like that. So I think feeling grateful is very important for your mindset to be positive. So that's what I put on a weekly questionnaire. And I have a general questionnaire for new clients. So because I think as a coach, we need to understand what they do, where they are. So these questions are more about what's happening in their life, what bothers them, what's their concern, what are their goals, how happy are they in their life. So that's a general questionnaire.
Interesting.
Mm.
And so they play the game. Do they use it? And
Yeah, they use it. I think if they are committed, they
mm.
do it. They do it. Oh, by the way, I didn't give it to your wife because she's referred by someone, so I didn't do it so formally.
Okay. So for you, it's really about when they take the ownership,
Mm.
they are ready to do some homework. Actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had a case where I had a chemistry call with another lady, and I told her that you have to take ownership. You are the owner of your journey. Um, there might be some homework. It's not too much, but there might be some homework for you to do or to think. And then she said, "Oh, let me think about it," and then she didn't come back. So yeah, there are people who are not ready, but it's their choice.
So it's probably better to know it at first, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And talking about your clients, so do you have any usual type of clients? Who do you coach?
I think it's very interesting. My first big group is young female professionals, probably because I have like more relevant work experience like them. So they come to me. They think I'm credible in this field.
Okay.
And the other category is Chinese graduates who graduated from overseas schools, and they come back to China. They are looking for direction in life. So a lot of them come to me, and because I have studied abroad, I worked for foreign companies, so I feel this experience might also be relevant to them.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So if I really switch a bit the topic of the discussion, so we our name, the name of our platform is At Your Best. And if I ask you, what would it mean for you to be at your best?
Okay.
What does it? What would you say?
I think at your best means you are the biggest supporter and fan of yourself, and you believe that you have the power to make the changes you want and pursue the life you want. I think at your best means you are the owner of your own life.
So actually, it's interesting. So you said a few times today the word ownership.
Yes.
So for you, it's really about that, right? It's like you take the ownership of your life and you decide your own journey, right? Yeah,
I think maybe it's a little bit related to my background coming from China, because in China there's a lot of social impact, peer pressure, family pressure. So when people make decisions, their own will may not be the first priority. They have to do some things at a certain age. They have to fulfill their parents' wishes or hopes on them. I was like that before too. So that's probably the reason why ownership is very important for me.
And so you coming back to your coaching, you think that this coaching transform you?
Yes, I think so. This journey is actually also a self-learning journey. I think everybody has a different story how they started coaching. For me, mine started from my self-growth. I wanted to, develop my own communication skills and how I, view things in life. And I found coaching very amazing at how coaching changes your perspectives in life. Because I could be in the past, I could be negative when I look at things. I focus on like half glass full, and that's me, and it's okay. So from learning coaching, I know it's okay and it's me, and I need to understand there's also half glass of full water there. So I think this is a really amazing journey for me.
Very interesting. Another topic that we are big fan at your best is the routine. Is it something that you have? Like, do you have daily routine? What do you think about routines?
Yeah. I think routines are very important. It's part of the habit forming, right? You have to do certain things at a certain time every day. So you don't think about why you have to do it, right? You don't question yourself. Do I have to do it? No, just do it. So for me, every day I go to gym quite often, so it's like I have to work out 5 times a week. I force myself to learn foreign languages. I force myself to learn piano because I think learning can really develop your brain. If you don't put your brain in some uncomfortable positions, then your brain will never grow. So I feel it's very important to keep your brain working.
Okay. So taking the ownership, learning, they are really your motto and the thing that you that drives you actually.
Yeah. I feel like in the past years, I've been learning different things. Besides coaching, before that, I was learning wine tasting. So I've got level 3 wine and spirit education trust, the certificate, which is not easy. I heard the pass rate is like 50%. In the exam, you have to do blind testing and do theory. So I was very surprised to find out I passed. And before that, I was learning something different. So I'm always learning.
Very interesting. I think it was a very interesting sharing for me and also for audience. So if people want to contact you, what is the best way to reach you?
Oh, okay. So I'm actually working on my website. So maybe you interview me again in a year. I have a link for you. But currently, you can find me on LinkedIn by my name, or Facebook by my name, Lily Chen. I also have a public account on WeChat.
Okay.
So if people have, we have WeChat users here, they can add me on LinkedIn first, and then we can add on WeChat.
Okay. So we will share all the detail, all the link
Yes.
of your Facebook and your LinkedIn on the comment of this interview and also after in some of the video we post. So it was a very interesting session. Thank you very much, Lily, for your time.
Thank you, Sam.
I really appreciate. And so if people want to contact you, they know they will have all this link and they feel free to contact Lily directly. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next time.
See you.